As Capcom's Mega Man series was enjoying enormous popularity on the Nintendo Entertainment System, it was only natural that Capcom would eventually release Mega Man games for Nintendo's other systems. In 1993, Mega Man was introduced to the Super Nintendo with Mega Man X, but already in 1989 the game series made its debut on the Game Boy. 5 original Game Boy Mega Man titles were released overall. The games imitated their NES counterparts with similar graphics, controls, and featuring the same robot masters with the exception of Mega Man 5, which had its own unique boss enemies as well as being the only game in the Game Boy series made with compatibility for the Super Game Boy adapter. Today we're taking a look at Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. The plotline explains that Dr. Wily has stolen an experimental time skimmer and traveled 37,426 years into the future, so we know that we're in for a serious business. Well, actually, this is all just a gimmick to set up for another revenge story. The only thing that's significantly different is that Wily has brought an assistant from the future, this woozy-ass robot, called Quint, armed with the Sakugarne, by some accounts a cross between a jackhammer and a pogo stick, and that his final fortress is now located in space, though the final stage seems something straight out of a Salvador Dali painting with all the melted clocks and stuff. Quint would also make a reappearance in the WonderSwan version of Rockman and Forte, but overall, he has to be one of the lamest mini-bosses in Mega Man history. He's easy as hell and doesn't even get his own energy meter. The Game Boy Mega Man games, or at least the first 4, are known for mixing elements of 2 corresponding NES Mega Man games. The first mixed elements of Mega Man 1 and 2, while this game naturally mixes elements of 2 and 3. The first 4 robot masters you face are the leftovers from the previous game, but they're pretty good for leftovers: Metal Man, Crash Man, Hood Man, and Air Man. The 4 Mega Man 3 bosses, however, are Top Man, Needle Man, Hard Man, and Magnet Man, or better known as the 4 lamest bosses from said game. You first have to fight through the first 4 Robot Masters before heading to Wily's base, where you proceed to fight through 4 more stages in order to beat the Mega Man 3 Robot Masters. This is very much like in the later Mega Man 7 and 8, except that instead of a stage selection screen, you enter the stages through the series' trademark teleporters, which means that you won't have a clue as to which teleporter takes you where. But if you want to know, it's Hard Man top left, Top Man top right, Magnet Man bottom left, and Needle Man bottom right. The game mechanics take after the NES Mega Man 3, with Mega Man being able to slide and use rush items. Though just as in Mega Man 3, you have to beat the Robot Masters in order to get the rush items, and unlike the NES version, you don't get the rush quill by default. The only other new item is the Sakugarne, which you get after beating Quint, and which is probably the best weapon to use against Wily during the first stage of the ending boss fight. That is, if you can figure out how to use the damn thing. Level-wise, the game plays like the difficult mode from Mega Man 2 with the gameplay elements from Mega Man 3, but perhaps with slightly shorter levels. With the absence of infuriating stage elements such as Quickman's lasers, the game actually feels very easy. Though the fact that you have a larger sprite does limit your maneuverability to a degree, the fact that it's nearly impossible to fall off ladders and that this game features the Metal Blades, also known as the best master weapons ever, contribute to the fact that the game isn't nearly as difficult as its NES counterparts. Only the final boss fight can cause you gray hairs, and you can survive it pretty well if you have enough energy tanks saved up. The soundtrack is solid, though perhaps not as memorable as the other Mega Man soundtracks, but at least the title theme and cinematic fortress theme, which also plays during the Quint fight, do stand out. I also like Needleman's stage music a lot for some reason. Mega Man 2 is by all accounts a good game. It's quite a bit easier than the NES counterpart, but it's still a fun and entertaining game. It definitely pales in comparison to the original Mega Man 2, which is my personal favorite out of the Mega Man games, but in the end, the game's only real weaknesses are that it's a little short and easy, as you can basically beat the game in under an hour.